last week before you go on break.
Crawling to the finish line after another year of highbrow political analysis, this guy f***s Victoria for 10 years, wipes his dick on the curtains on the way out, and gets an OAM.
Oh, okay. Speaking of worse...
Andrew Giles, he probably wants to hit a journo. With good cause, Giles's latest foray into the land of feeble-mindedness. Just when we thought Andrew Giles had hit rock bottom, he started digging. For a nation that prides itself on its firearms and marksmanship, they often miss. 8 shots and he gets an earlobe?
Think about it.
This guy can f*** up reading a teleprompter.
I'm on Burgundy?
And even-handed scrutiny of economics and business. A lot of us appear to give no f***s about the consumer price index though.
I mean, it's one banana, Michael. What could it cost? $10?
The naughty corner's where the construction union does its best work.
No television for a week. What?
Listen here, you I'm coming to look at that good crane whether you like it or not. Off, you stupid you're not climbing the good crane.
What's in store on those fronts for next year?
Well, politics and economics and society, Lord knows. But I do have some thoughts about what will happen in bikie land, so here are the up-late Underworld predictions for 2025. At number 1, we have a clash between the Comanchero and Mongols gangs. The counterintuitive reason for this upcoming street battle is the spectacular implosion of the Rebels bikie gang. The mass resignation of 36 rebels in May was triggered by this event. That botched drive-by shooting targeting a senior member of the Mongols Rock City chapter had the rebel Sydney and Melbourne bosses cringing.
It was very awkward and cringy.
It was a bit comical.
Even better with Benny Hill music. The East Coast rebels refused to come to the aid of their under siege chapters out west, and that saw a lot of rebs defect to the Comancheros. New patch, but same bad blood with the black and whites, and as we saw in Sydney, the Comanchero don't around when it comes to street justice. Second Underworld event to watch in 2025, and one that's related to the first, is the release from jail of this guy. Rebels figurehead Labrook will be back in society at some point next year. He's currently 16 weeks into a sentence of at least 7 months after being found guilty of possessing illegally obtained property. Said property being $400,000 the cops suggested came from dodgy enterprises.
There he is, finally.
But Carl insisted was legit.
Melanie's Lemonade Restaurant is a local hotspot founded earlier today.
When Labrook does come out, he'll do so as a fully fledged patch member of the Comanchero. That's him going to court wearing the distinctive black and white gold of the Comos, and that's him at the gang's clubhouse shortly before he went inside. The question then will be whether he uses his new club muscle to square up with his one-time bestie turned mortal enemy, Troy McCanty. Let's see if the Ross and Rachel of the Australian Underworld can play nice on the outside.
We are so over.
Fine by me!
Third prediction for 2025 is more arrests from the Anom police operation. The dust hasn't settled on the greatest underworld infiltration since Donnie Brasco joined the FBI.
You think I'm a rat?
The sting came when undercover cops sold bikies and gangsters a new encrypted app without telling the customer one important thing.
They were listening.
And reading in real time every message sent around the world. There was a blizzard of early arrests, but law enforcement analysts have only just begun interrogating the bazillion terabytes of data gleaned from that app.
But there's way too much information to decode the matrix.
Fourth prediction, and related to the third, is increased scrutiny of Australian crooks living overseas, particularly those doing their business in the Thai resort town of Pattaya, which has become an unofficial international bikie clubhouse. Number 5 on the list, we could find out the true identity of the man who assassinated Rebels bikie chief Nick Martin.
Well, if it isn't our old friend.
Word is the thrill-seeking Rambo wannabe who shot Martin at the Perth Motorplex wants people to know who he is.
Say my name.
He's currently representing himself in a bid to deny lawyers access to an 80-page diary he penned in prison. and rumour has it that he's going to challenge the suppression order imposed by the courts after he was sentenced to 20 years for pulling the trigger back in December 2020. The sixth thing to watch in 2025,
And related to number 5,
is the blockbuster trial of the man accused of masterminding the Martin assassination. David Pye is a one-time club brother of Big Nick, but they clearly had a falling out because the man known as the Baker was charged with paying the man with no name to ice his old mate. That blockbuster trial starts in October and is said to be the most tense courtroom exchange since Jack Nicholson questioned Tom Cruise's ability to cope with some facts.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
For every gangster who wants Pye found guilty, there's one who wants him freed. And given those observers have unique abilities to influence juries, you can bet there'll be a robust pre-trial argument over whether the case should be tried by a judge alone.
I'm done. You're gone.
Final prediction for 2025 is a full-blown Mayor of Kingstown-style prison riot, with inmates triple bunking at Hakea. Seriously, they're like clowns in a car in there at the moment. It's only a matter of time before something happens to trigger a rampage.
And this Chateau LeBlanc 68 is supposed to be served slightly chilled.
that was, 7? Not even a top 10.
Shrinkflation. I'm Ben Harvey. For more Up Late, click the subscribe button below.